All right, welcome to your weekly recap from your friends here at .LA. I'm Kelly O'Grady, .LA's chief host and correspondent. We love everything LA tech media and startup news here, so if you do too, you're in the right place. Okay, so let's get into the top headlines from this week. The Techstars LA 2020 class launched this week. 10 companies, 3 weeks of intense mentoring, and I do mean intense, with it all culminating in demo day in October. But this year is going to be a little bit different. Everything will be remote. So it's a tough challenge for an accelerator that relies so heavily on in-person brainstorming and networking, but managing director Anna Barber is pulling out all the stops and employing numerous remote tools to ensure that the experience is as transformative as in past years. So check out our website and our social media for more Techstars coverage from Ben Bergman and me. In other startup news, Pocket List launched this week after less than a year in stealth mode. Okay, so honestly, who hates apartment hunting? Definitely me. If you didn't say yes, I'm not sure you're a human. It's a tedious, stressful process, but Pocket List is looking to make your next search a lot simpler. The app allows renters to see and share apartments that will soon be available before they're listed. In theory, this is going to reduce the time that properties sit vacant and possibly heat up competition. Pocket List has raised $2.8 million in funding, led by Craft Ventures, Abstract VC, and our very own Spencer Raskoff. So for more on this from Leslie Ignacio, make sure to check out our website. Another startup making waves is OpenPath, the company that's trying to make key cards a thing of the past. So I find this one particularly intriguing because I always lose anything like this in the black hole that's my bag. So we're talking employee badge, hotel room key card, you name it. OpenPath thinks that the supercomputer that sits in pretty much all of our pockets might be a better option. So the patented a triple unlock tax, they call it, wherein a door sensor can establish a handshake with a mobile phone's cell, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth signal and assess whether the phone it's coming from belongs to somebody who has the credentials to enter. So $36 million that they've raised is no small part influenced by the fact that touchless entry is becoming more important. Now I will just have to make sure not to lose my phone. So for more on this from Sam Blake, check out our website. And some data on our tech and startup scene here in LA came out this week by way of Pledge LA and the Annenberg Foundation. The new survey found that white employees have a leg up on their jobs through their personal networks, and female tech employees continue to earn 71 cents to their male counterparts $1. In response to the findings, Pledge LA announced a new fund for Black and Latinx founders in South LA. So one of the major findings of the survey is that many companies simply don't track these things, something that there's a lot of pressure on to change given the recent outcry regarding diversity in tech. So for more on this from Tammy Abdullah, check out the link below. All right, let's move on to media. Now, if you were in the Hollywood area this Wednesday and looking up at the sky like I was, you might have been squinting. Was it a bird? Was it a plane? Sort of. It was actually a peacock. More specifically, it was a plane advertising the launch of NBC's new streaming service, Peacock. So yet another one jumps in the already crowded space with its general launch this week. In its free version, Peacock has over 13,000 hours of content, but you'll have to pay to get it with no ads and the full 20,000 hour library. Now, the move is a signal that Comcast-owned NBC is doubling down on content and maybe trying to control a slow shift towards D2C, given its parent is quite entrenched in the cable ecosystem. Some more media news. If you love Shark Tank, then Going Public may be the new show for you. Okay, so this show is going to showcase 5 companies preparing to list on the NASDAQ stock exchange. Over the course of 10 episodes, viewers will follow the company founders as they promote their offering and receive feedback and advice from mentors, professional investors, and other executives. Those of us watching at home who think we've spotted a winner will have a chance to get in on the action at the IPO price for those companies that end up going public. So casting is now open for participating companies, so go apply at goingpublic.com if you have a yen for an IPO and reality fame. So for more on media from Sam Blake and Leslie Ignacio, check out the links below. And now on to investing. We had a decent amount of activity this week in the news. So electric car startup Fisker is set to go public through a merger that values the company at $2.9 billion and allows it to begin producing its first electric vehicle by 2020. The deal is with Spartan Energy Acquisition Corp, and it comes as investors are fiending for the next Tesla, which has seen its stock price soar in recent weeks. Wavemaker Partners has also announced it's closed its third and largest fund focused on Southeast Asia with $111 million in dry powder, exceeding its target of $100 million. So Wavemaker is a cross-border venture firm dual headquartered in LA and Singapore. But it wasn't all good news. So Corona does seem to be hitting the startup market. Just 140 startup deals were completed in the second quarter of 2020 in Greater LA, according to the latest PitchBook NVCA Venture Monitor, which is the fewest since they started tracking this data in 2014. We released another episode of .LA Dives In this week. I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing the co-founders of mental wellness network Frame. They walked me through how they're transforming the space for both patients and providers, what they're doing to dispel the stigma around mental health, and how they're supporting their clients in this forced transition to telehealth during the pandemic. So if you want to watch the full interview, check out our website. And if you want the highlights, make sure to check out a shortened version on our IGTV for a look at a really cool startup in our own backyard here in LA. And finally, this week we hosted our first in the Female Founder series with one-on-one interviews with the CEOs of WeCare and Drop Labs. Honestly, I think it can be so easy for us to look at these incredibly successful CEOs that we see and think, oh my gosh, they didn't face any adversity. But it's not true. We delved into the paths these two women traveled, and they were riddled with challenges, just like we're all facing. So watch the playback on our website if you missed it for some really interesting insights on how to start your company. Okay, so that wraps up our weekly recap. For more detail on these stories, other news this week, and to check out the awesome virtual events we're hosting, make sure to visit us on our website, sign up for our daily newsletter, and make sure you follow us on Instagram so you don't miss our exclusive video content. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kelly O'Grady for .LA.